Good morning, you guys. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. What is that smell I'm smelling? Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. Okay. Good morning to you. Good morning.
What? I hope you intend to eliminate this mess. The maid can take care of it. We don't
Okay.
have a maid. And that is
Good morning. Good morning.
You're just goofing off.
Nobody's here. Okay.
It's also about responsibilities. What? What's wrong?
Hey, guys.
Responsibility.
Good morning.
Seriously, you guys need to start thinking.
So I wanted to read out of this book. It's called The Courage to Change.
Better than the present. Things always improve.
In the future, they're gonna finally eradicate that thing you keep talking about.
So here we go. I had a very difficult time believing that alcoholism was a disease. I was convinced that if they really wanted to, alcoholics could stop drinking. After all, I quit smoking. Wasn't it the same thing? Then one day, an Al-Anon member likened active alcoholism to Alzheimer's disease. We see our loved ones slip away without their being aware of what's happening or being able to stop it. They look perfectly normal on the outside, but the sickness is progressing and they become more and more irrational and difficult to be around. When they have lucid moments and once again seem to be themselves, we want to believe that they are well, but these moments pass and we despair. Before long, we find ourselves resenting the very people we once loved. I'll always be grateful to my friend because her explanation helped me to accept the reality of my situation. Once I did it, it was much easier for me to separate the disease from the person. So, I know we've all heard people argue about whether addiction is a disease or whether it's a choice. And I truly do believe that is a disease of the mind and that it is a spiritual malady, that we have a spiritual malady, that we have something inside of us from a very young age that we just don't feel like we fit in with everyone else, or we don't feel a part of, we feel different. And that's how, at least that was my experience. I felt like I wasn't the same as everyone else. I felt like I was constantly trying to measure up to other people, but I just couldn't quite do it, you know? And so, the disease concept, I accepted that when it was brought to me and I learned about addiction because it made sense. It made sense to me that I don't want to be like this. I don't want to have this undesirable craving for alcohol and drugs, you know? And at the time, I didn't know what to do to stop it. Now, I know that there's a solution and that I don't have to keep making those choices anymore. But I had to admit complete defeat before I could even start working on myself. And so I kind of had to go through like a surrender period where I was like, I surrender. I cannot do this anymore. I give up. I tap out. And I think a lot of people think that, you know, we're just over here shooting dope and drinking alcohol and smoking crack because we just absolutely love doing it. Now, don't get me wrong. There's probably people out there that do still enjoy getting high, and it has not become a necessity to them. But in every drug addict's life, there comes a time where they cross over an imaginary boundary, an imaginary line from where drug addiction, drug use, and abuse goes from being fun and beneficial to being a necessity, something they have to do every day to feel normal. And I crossed that line a long time ago, probably back when I was like 24, 25, and I'm 36 now. So when I crossed that line, that was like crossing over into it being a necessity for me to use, it being something I had to do every day to function. Right then, things got different. It got a lot more serious. My addiction got to the point where if I didn't have what I needed in the morning, I was not able to get out of the bed. The consequences that I started to endure from my addiction, like going to prison, overdosing and ending up in the hospital in a coma for 7 days, losing my son, losing my friends, losing my family. These consequences started building and building. And finally, when I lost my son, that consequence was the consequence of all consequences. Like, it trumped everything, and it made me open my eyes, and I said, oh my gosh, I have to stop. But it was like my brain was hooked on this loop that I had gotten used to, you know, getting up, getting high, needing more, doing more, craving, copying more, doing it. You know, it's like this internal loop that I had trained my brain for over 12 years to seek drugs, to use drugs, to steal and manipulate to get drugs. Like, so I had to practice to not do those things anymore. And so it didn't just happen overnight where I woke up and I thought, I don't want to use drugs anymore. You know, I didn't want to use drugs for a long time, but I couldn't stop. I was using against my own will. Like, I was operating in autopilot. And so whenever I went to treatment and I had that time to like not use, that helped me so much. And then getting a sponsor and going to meetings and meeting other people and talking about my addiction and talking about what I need to do to get sober helped me to learn how to do those things. And now, like, I'm learning every day how to practice new things to stay sober, you know? So it's all a process, but don't ever let anybody make you feel less than because you have the disease of addiction. You know, you aren't less than. In fact, you're amazing. And if I can get clean and sober and live life and not be stealing from people and living on the streets and have a beautiful house and a beautiful son and a beautiful husband, then you can have all those things too, you know? It just takes a little bit of hard work, and you got to get determined, and you got to be ready to surrender, and you have to come to the acceptance that you can no longer use drugs and alcohol ever again. You will never be able to use drugs and alcohol. And if you can come to that acceptance and be okay with that, then you can make it. You can recover. So, I love you guys. I just wanted to make a quick video for y'all and kind of talk to you guys about my experience with addiction and it being a disease and how, you know, it affected me through my life. Hey girl, how are you doing? I haven't seen you in forever. I just was talking about how addiction is a disease and how it has affected me over the years and how I finally came to a point when in my addiction where I was ready to surrender and I wanted to change my life, but I just didn't know how. And then I went to treatment and they taught me what I needed to do. And then I got a sponsor and she's been teaching me how to stay sober and what I need to do. And I've been retraining my brain. But I had practiced for so many years, those criminal behaviors that I had gotten used to, you know. Oh, thank you so much. How are you? Are you doing good? Are you sober today? Or are you like me? Like, I'm on medically assisted treatment. I'm on Suboxone. And I consider that sober, though, because I was shooting up dope and meth and cocaine and Xanax, all kinds of drugs. So, I've been on Suboxone for 3 years. So, I've been clean and sober from all drugs for 3 years. So, but I'm tapering off my Suboxone right now. And I've been doing really, really well with it. Good. Okay, good. And so has that helped you? Like, I want this to be a place where other people feel confident and safe to talk about their treatment on Suboxone. It has helped me so much, but the only thing that I smell something. The only thing that the thing that I do that helps me the most is like I go to meetings. I don't just do Suboxone. Like I went to the doctor. I got put on that 3 years ago, and then I started going to therapy. So I see a therapist once a month. I go to meetings, like 12-step meetings, like NA or AA or Cocaine Anonymous, whatever A you want to go to, but it so much helps me. And I got a sponsor and started working the 12 steps, and that has been the biggest blessing I could have ever, like, it's helped me so much. I've literally learned how to relive my life. Like, this 12 steps have taught me so much. They've taught me that I'm powerless over drugs and alcohol if I put them inside of my body. But right now, since I don't have them in my body, I have the power of choice, and I don't have to get high today. You know, they've also taught me that acceptance is the key to my problems today. If I see something in somebody that's bothering me, it's probably because I'm doing the same thing. The 12 steps have taught me that forgiveness is key. Not just forgiveness of myself, but forgiveness of other people. Because if I forgive other people, then that's for me, not for them. I need that. I don't need to be carrying those resentments away. And yeah, babe. I'm upstairs. So you have me, and if you need to talk, you can message me. I'm on Instagram under Nicole Pludre, same name as here. Message me on Instagram and I'll give you my cell phone number and we can talk on the phone. I have a whole group of girls on Facebook. We have a group chat and we all help each other stay sober, and we talk every single day. I do videos over there too, and I got a bunch of recovery groups that you could be a part of other people that are also on Suboxone. Like, we all help each other and support each other. We would love to have you there. So please come on over. Message me on Instagram so I can find you, okay? Don't feel like you're alone, because you're not. I'm here for you, okay? And if I say anything that helps you today, and you got to know this, that you are not alone, that we are all struggling. We all just want to have our lives and live good lives. And so that's not too hard to ask for, you know? So just keep on pushing forward. Don't give up, because it's when you lose hope that you'll lose that drive to do it, you know? So just keep on keeping the hope, and come on, get a hold of me on Instagram so we can talk. I know. And listen, if you're on Suboxone, you don't have to get off anytime soon. How long have you been on it? I was on mine for 3 years. I'm still on it. So you don't have to jump off. There's nothing wrong with being prescribed Suboxone. If you feel comfortable and it helps you, then fuck what everybody else says. You know what I mean? They're not living your life. They don't know what's going on. So you can stay on it forever, girl. Don't be tripping. Okay? Like, if I decide to come off and I am having too much of a trouble, I'm not going to jump. So, get at me on Instagram. The boys are here with food. I got to go. Okay? All right, bye.